Welcome to the Market Mindset. We are the hub for news, results, and CEO interviews focusing the junior commodities sector. We provide market analysis and perspective that will help position you for solid returns. If that sounds like something you're interested in, you can help support us by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and clicking the notification bell. For more info, you can visit our website. All links are in the description below. Now let's get into today's video.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Market Mindset. Today, Austin's going to walk us through a new sector. I mean, it's not really that new a sector. It's new for you guys. It's an upcoming sector. It's one I've got a great deal of interest in. I'm of the generation growing up with video games, but this is the gaming sector. So Austin's going to explain to us what that all entails. Like when I think of it, I think just sports and then video games, and why it's so lucrative, what's so appealing about it. Wrap our heads around it, because I mean, for some people, it's going to take a little bit of effort to wrap our heads around it. And let me just give a shout out before Austin takes away this, is that I remember it was years ago, maybe in like 2018, I was back for Christmas and Austin was telling me about a website called Twitch, in which there were like teenagers on there making a couple $100,000 a year playing video games and people just watched them. And I was convinced he was lying to me. I was like, you're making stuff up. That's ridiculous. Because when I was a kid, that would be like the ultimate dream. I could get paid to just play video games. That's my job. So as it turns out, he drags me over to the computer. I look at this Twitch online streaming platform, and there it is. I mean, it looked cool. There's tons of different games. And at the time, we liked this one, World of Warcraft. So go on to that. You pick a big name person on it, and blown away. I'm just watching just some random live stream where you see kids, $5, $10, $30, $20. It's flowing in. Like they're tipping them. I thought, what world are we living in? I don't understand this world.
Yeah.
So that's just a bit of a wake-up call. I'm sure if you have kids, you've probably seen the credit card bills, you've seen the $10 here, the $20 there, and you're probably wondering, what the hell is this all about? Or that have Minecraft or whatever. But that's my little introduction into this sector and this wild world of the interconnectedness of all of us, and even what we do. What we have people that watch and enjoy what we talk about, and hopefully we'll educate you here. So Austin, tell us about this gaming sector. What's it mean? What's it entail? What's it look like?
Well, I'm glad you kind of started off by talking about Twitch there, because Twitch really revolutionized the popularity behind gaming and esports specifically and allowed it to grow as like a global kind of community. In the same sense as, the NFL getting a major TV contract deal with Fox or CBS or someone like that, it put it in front of a massive audience. But Twitch did that on a whole nother level, where you can get NFL games on regular TV here in Canada and the States, obviously, but it's a lot more difficult if you're in somewhere like Ireland or Germany or Russia. It'd be much more difficult for you to get access to that. Twitch, everyone can get onto it. Now, I mean, granted, I'm sure there are some countries, I don't know what China's regulations and rules would be surrounding Twitch and if you can watch it there or not. But for the most part, it gives you a full global scale on it. And what's important to kind of think about with that is that gaming culture and how big it's gotten and how important it's become is interconnected to pop culture. So Twitch, to my generation, and certainly to the generation younger than me, is going to be as influential, as important in your life as MTV was back in the day for your generation, or Much Music and stuff like that. So it really has encompassed and kind of overarched on this entire sector and made it so prevalent in the lives of so many people, to the way that sports would have been back in the day, or music, or the film industry, or anything like that. So
this is where you get the term, like when you hear like these influencers, so like Ninja, or like these people that have garnered so much attention because sure, they're playing a video game, but often it's that they're a personality. Like it's more to it than, it's like having a big athlete like LeBron James, who's also a personality. He's fun, or Shaquille O'Neal. There's more to them than just they're phenomenal at what they do. A lot of times these channels, it might be that they're just really, really funny. Like they could have been a comic, and they're like, I don't know if I can make it on stage over here, but I could be a live stream comic playing a video game.
Exactly, right? Like there's interesting personalities that you can tether yourself to. The example I always use to kind of make it make sense to people is Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor was a great fighter, But the way he got as popular as he did was his personality. The way he was walking on stage in these $10,000 suits, strutting around, telling people he's going to beat the crap out of them. And he's Irish, so the Irish fan base bought into it 100%. We know when the Irish get into sports, they buy in 100%. But you get interesting personalities like that on top of something you're already vested in, and then you can build a community around that. So whether it's on Twitch or on Twitter or on Reddit, you've got people who are engaged in this community as well, helping it grow. You get a choice, you get a variety of what you can watch with esports versus, you turn on NFL Sunday, you get a couple different games, right? With esports, you can go into Twitch and watch anything. And the variety of games, from something like a World of Warcraft, which is a fantasy style game, to a Battlefield or a Call of Duty, which is a first person shooter, to then your FIFAs and stuff like that for actual sports gaming, it's a massive variety and a plethora of options that people get to kind of choose and pick. And it expands the type of audience that you can put that in front of.
So, okay, this is good. Now let's take a little bit of a step back. When we say gaming, so if we could maybe distinguish between, because that whole sector, it's a mixture of, and we've talked to some companies, if you look at Royal Winds, it's a gaming company. So it's a mixture of either gambling, betting, games of skill, or hybrid, but also including live. So like rugby matches, NFL, NBA, Major League, where you can actually bet the outcome. Break down the different under that whole gaming platform, like Las Vegas casinos. You go Atlantic City, Monte Carlo. All those are under the heading of betting, online betting, as well as live betting. What for today's purposes, that's the whole gaming sector. Maybe you could break that down a little bit, and then the distinguishing part between esport and then its kind of break apart pieces and what makes up esport.
Right. So you hit some really important kind of metrics there with gaming and what it covers. There's the gambling betting side of things, and that can include, like you said, casino type gambling or sports betting itself. I'm going to bet on this team. I'm going to bet on this player. I'm going to bet on, this horse for horse gambling, right? For horse racing. So there's the gambling side of things. Then there's skill gaming side of things, which is much more like what Royal Winds does, where you have an opportunity based on your skill to win money. And then you have these kind of hybrid mixtures. And I would say esports fits into a hybrid mixture because it's people watching other people play games. So very much in kind of the same avenue, and it's why I've used so many parallels to major sporting, is it's you're just watching people play games. You're watching people who are going to compete they're going to put their skills to the test for the opportunity to win hundreds of thousands, in some cases millions of dollars, playing at the highest, most competitive level of what they do. Exactly the same as the top rated golfers. They're going to compete in the Masters and the US Open every year. You're going to have your top ranked gamers are going to compete in Fortnite challenges. They're going to compete in FIFA tournaments and stuff like that. So you have esports kind of brings in the actual fandom and watching and investing in that side of things, rather than just I'm on my phone playing some video games here and there.
Yes. And I think that's a big distinction too, is that there's your mobile games, which a lot of people, I remember ones like on Facebook, like there's like Clash of Clans, or there would be like the market type ones where you build a farm, and you could do those on your phone because it's not terribly graphic intensive. It's not a ton of power, but it's addictive as hell. And it's fun. And those, we can get into how they make money and how big those are. Those are huge. Those are your mobile games. Then you have your desktop games, which would be like your World of Warcraft, your Dota, your League of Legends, all those types of things. You have the board game type things as well, which we'll leave that aside, but also your console. So you've got your FIFA or some driving games maybe, or these types of things. Let's not even get into the AR, VR world that's going to happen, or the metaverse world that will happen. Let's leave that to the very end when we start talking about that whole world that's happening today. But all of these, it breaks it into, okay, we have a bunch of different platforms. Some are your like a Sony PlayStation, I would remember in my day, or a Nintendo if we want to go really far back. But then there's cloud-based ones. So what are the different platforms? Because we need to put this all together. We've got teams, we've got sports platforms, we've got, it looks kind of like the NFL, NBA, but it's online. So what's that kind of look like?
So you're left with a situation where you have a vested network of people who are watching and interested and engaged. So you're going to be looking at esports in its specific way is the actual viewing, like I said earlier, and actually watching and engaging with this. So you're going to have exactly the same as you would with NFL. You're going to have TV revenue, or in this case, Twitch or YouTube or whatever platform's going to stream it for you. But you're also going to have people watching it live in person. They've sold out Madison Square Garden in New York. They've sold out the Staples Center in LA for gaming competitions. And I don't just mean like sold out, like, you know, a few weeks of tickets being on sale. I'm talking the same as some of the biggest concerts. If you weren't there in the first couple minutes, you didn't get a ticket for this event, because that's how huge the demand to get people in and watching it. So you're getting butts in seats in arenas watching this, as well as hundreds of thousands, millions of people watching it around the world on their computers, on their TVs, whatever way they want to watch it. But that's so many eyes. It's such a, I think what people have realized is an untapped market of eyes on this kind of thing. And it's like, it goes back to how I said it's becoming intertwined with pop culture. Is it's so incredibly popular. It's not just the gaming is for these kind of, you know, nerdy kids who don't have a lot of friends, who hang out in their mom's basement all the time. I mean, you talk to any 14, 15-year-old guy or girl right now, and they are playing some sort of video game, be it on their phone or, I mean, Fortnite is incredibly popular to levels that that video games really haven't seen before. So it's tapping into that attention and excitement that it gets, and watching that grow and being able to put that in front of as many people as possible.
I think we'll do a whole segment here in the near future, just on, because I think for parents and parents, anyone even my age group, when I saw the scope and scale of commitment, this is not just like going to see a football game. This is an event. There's so much happening. There's people dressed up. There's booths on, you name, on everything. It isn't just that they're there to watch a video game. It's a whole lifestyle / community event that in some of these cases, these are people that maybe played video games together for 2 years, and they're finally, one's in Georgia, one's in California, one's in Romania. They finally get to hang out in person. So it's this massive energy that people have built up, some fun times, you know, playing video games at mad hours in the morning, drinking too much pop, that they finally get to meet. So there is a big energy, and when I say they put on a show, it's shocking. They are a massive show. It's a whole event.
Yeah, the production level of it would rival the biggest concerts you've ever seen. It's stadium tours and, you know, the Super Bowl championship level sporting. And what I think it does in a really cool way is it taps into our own like tribal nature and gets you invested in a way that you feel like you're playing along with them. The same way that sports have that effect on people as well, but you're playing along while you watch. You're invested in how this gamer, this streamer that you followed for the last few years does and performs. And he's put hours and hours of time into becoming literally the best in the world at what he does. And that's what makes it, I think, engaging for people to get behind it, and creates that level of excitement to the exact same degree as regular in like live sports. That's all happening online. That's all happening in video games now. And it's a massively untapped resource and potential there for people to get extremely excited about.
Austin, thanks for this first initial kind of entry into it. I mean, I've been fascinated by it, but just haven't had the time. And that's one of the big reasons we wanted you involved in the market mindset, and to bring you on is the expertise you have in this sector and what you can bring. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun introducing people that aren't aware, to show them what's coming up, what's open with this interconnected world and the whole opportunity that's in this sector. So thanks, Austin, and we look forward to the next part of the series.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a great little deep dive into just the massive amount of potential that is there in the sector. And I'm excited to learn more about it myself, to get to share it with people. And hopefully we can get people excited and energized about a whole new sector that we haven't really been able to tap into yet.